right, we do have a longish agenda. We try to get to them as quickly as possible. Many of them are pretty straightforward. Um, just quickly, as we've been talking about COVID, I wanted to say that Nassau County is #1 county in New York State as far as the number of vaccination. We have 85% of the population in Nassau County who has gotten at least one dose, which is a great number. So I'm hoping that people continue to um, consider vaccination because it's really saving lives. The numbers, as of last week in Nassau County, we had about 105 people who were in the hospital, of which 17 were vaccinated, many of whom were not in the hospital because of COVID-related matters. They were there for different issues, having babies or such, and tested positive. So we do, and from the people who are in ICUs, none of them are vaccinated. So these are good news. It shows that vaccination works. So I encourage everybody to discuss it with their physicians and seriously considering getting these vaccines. With the new variants coming, Delta apparently is well covered, at least somehow covered with the vaccines. I don't know about the Lambda yet. I hope it doesn't make it to the United States. Anyway, that said, let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we start the... I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Abraham, you can start.
Sure. The first item on the agenda is the Nassau County Police Department report for the month of July. You can see it on your screen. And these are the accidents that happened in the village. The ones that are noted outside of the village obviously are not inside the village. Yeah, that's not indicative if it was actually in the village.
It's less.
Probably it's less in the village.
So 46 summons were given.
Again, that's not indicative that it was actually happening in the village. It might be, as you can see in the accident report, they're not exclusive of other villages.
Okay. Fairview, Middle Neck Road, and Steamboat Road. East Shore Road, Vista Hill, Middle Neck Road, Steamboat Road. That's 2 on Middle Neck Road and Steamboat Road. Great Neck Road, Northern Boulevard. That's not us either.
Well, so
Park Place and Steamboat Road. Is Park Place where we
put the 4-way stop?
And they're still having accidents? Was this the first one, or there was another one?
I just saw one. Park Place and Steamboat. I just saw one. As you can see, it's backing unsafely. It was not driving forward. It was right.
Okay.
Actually, that might be actually the village's accident. He got distracted and then he rear-ended. You remember?
So I see there is one again on Baker and Hampshire.
Yes.
Wow, this is number 4. We had 2, last time was 3, this time is 4, right? This is 4 since the election.
I think 3.
I've lost count.
3 or 4?
Yeah, I think it's 3.
With this one is 3?
This, yeah.
This is Middle Neck Road and Baker? What the heck is going on Middle and Baker? Is this somebody making a right again?
It's probably somebody was coming going straight from CVS, and somebody was trying to make a left turn or a right turn, and they got into an accident.
There used to be several at that intersection a month.
What? Yeah,
In
Middle
the
Neck
past,
and
there
Fair.
used to be like a worse spot in the road.
Okay. Okay.
The next item on the agenda is the Department of Public Work July 2021 report.
I don't really have anything to add to the report. The only one thing that I would like to say is that I did not forget about the tree by the temple. That it still has to come down. I have not gotten PSE&G there, out there yet, but I did not forget about it. It's still on the short list. And the road paving, I have not gotten any, call back from the estimates. As soon as I get that, then of course, I'll let you know.
We're still using Persilico, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And the other, only one other thing that I have that's kind of sort of semi-important, I guess, is I did get the quotes back from the parking lot for the fence. They ranged from, I think, 1,900 to 2,200.
Fence, or are you talking about the
Behind Everfresh.
The railing.
The
Well,
gra-
there's 2
guardrail.
parts, the
Well, I
fence
had
and
to
the guardrail.
fix the fence first.
Oh, okay.
I asked also Chuck from Persilico, when I had written in, to see who he uses to do the guardrails, because I don't know, all the years I've been here, I never installed a guardrail, so I was trying to see who they use to install, and then try and go that route.
You can also ask Nassau County DPW. They do that.
They might do their own. They might do their own, but I will find out.
Okay.
And get it.
Yeah, because that's been, we discussed it about a month ago, so I don't want it to.
Yeah, well, and the homeowner keeps, I assume it's the homeowner, keeps moving the barricades back into the 2 parking spaces, when they really don't have to block those 2 parking spaces, but they're afraid, so they keep moving the barricades back into the parking stalls, which now does, uses up those 2 stalls, and then Everfresh is calling saying, hey, why do you have to put the barricades here? And I drive there almost every other day to move the barricades back up onto the grass.
Okay.
Also, the benches by the parking lot, by the planters,
The benches by the park lot?
benches that are affixed to the planters
Right,
by, between Chosen
by
and.
lot 4 there?
Is that between Chosen and, between, Pizza Rocks and,
Right.
27, or, and, the fish market. Those benches are,
Yeah, they're in
all
horrible
broken up
shape.
with nails sticking up and everything.
I'll check them. I did fix them.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, I'll check them again. Those planters are getting old,
No, no, it's the benches themselves. It's
Yeah,
just
no,
the wood slats.
I will check them. I will check them, and if there needs replacing, that's what I will do.
They do.
Then maybe you need to even change it.
We talked about that parking lot, last year or before the pandemic, about doing what I deem called a pocket park, whatever you would like to
Right,
call
but
it, but,
right.
maybe we can, come up to a meeting of the minds of what we're gonna do in that back corner and the
I think we
walkway,
should
and
do what we
maybe incorporate the.
Well, like we
the
should
items
do
of
what we
the plan.
discussed. It's a good idea, and we can, obviously it's going to be almost like a park place. So it's a good idea to do, and then we can start doing the planters.
And then do the
and-
planters as part of the
Right.
same plan.
And I think the planters, we should not use that kind of wood.
Use the brick like in front of lot 1A.
Right, whatever it is, but not those. I mean, those things can be very dangerous. The splinters, and I've seen people sit on it. I don't know how the heck they're not afraid. But
I think, Benny had given me prices to redo those in brick. I have to look at my old quote.
let's see if Benny can give you a price for doing the park and that
Yeah,
at the same time.
He did give me that. He did
So
give
let's
me those
bring it to the
prices.
next meeting, which is going to be on the 17th, right?
I'll just check with him
September
to
7th.
to re-update the information.
Right,
He's
so
on
he
it.
has-
So good.
He has enough time, I think, to do it. Right? 14th? September 14th, so that's about a month. So we should get a nice design. You had a design, I remember.
Robert had drawn.
Right. So see what we can do with the design and the planters, and then we can have that on the next item. Okay, great. Thanks.
The next item on the agenda is the Department of Building, July 2021 report.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. We had taken in 52 applications for the building permits. We collected $44,497.48. 33 of those applications were approved. There are 19 pending. There's a list of what's pending. We did 106 inspections. There were 53 complaints. 45 violations were issued, and we sent out over 125 letters for expired permits from the past.
Right. We are going to discuss the amnesty.
Yes.
Okay. Also, as far as the sidewalks, I know that there were a bunch of
I have a list.
yeah. What are we doing with the list? I wish we sent those before we send these.
We could do that.
Yeah, I think before the winter hits, which is unfortunately the
Okay.
summer is almost over, so we gotta really get on those.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you wanna talk about the amnesty after?
Yes.
Okay, so you go ahead. Clerk report.
We have, till this afternoon, we have collected approximately 51% of the village taxes. I just want to remind the residents that the taxes are due by the end of the month. After that, there will be a 7% penalty and interest added. We are trying to send out reminders by the end of the week. They should get it by the end of the week. If you're going to send it out tomorrow, they should get it by the end of the week. And as I mentioned, it's due by the end of the month, August 31st.
Okay.
Regarding the audit, the only thing outstanding for 2019 audit is the fixed asset report. We have been working on it. We had a conference call this afternoon with the auditors. We should be giving it to them in a couple of days. Rich is working on it. As you might know, Moody's recently dropped the village's rating. I just want to remind the public that that was not because they found anything in the report. It was just not for receiving the audit report on time. And they will reinstate the village's rating as soon as they receive the audited report.
Okay.
When will that be?
As I mentioned, we finished the fixed asset report by the end of the week, and then we'll send it over. They will send us a updated financial report. Once I approve it, we can issue it.
Okay. All right.
Under old business, we're going back to Potter's Court. There's a request to remove the no standing signs around the court. Just going to show you these pictures again. We consulted H2M as village engineers per fire code. If at the end of the cul-de-sac there's a 96 feet diameter in the cul-de-sac, there's no requirement to put the no standing sign there, as well as the access to the cul-de-sac. If there's a 26 feet access, there's requirement to put on one side of the street no parking sign. Currently on all three, Potter's Court, Cathy Lane, and Reed Court, there is a no standing on one side of the street. On Cathy Lane and on Reed Court, there's no sign indicating that they cannot park at the cul-de-sac. However, there is one at Potter's Court. Brian and I went and we measured it from curb to curb. Take from this side of the street to the end of the curb on this side, you'll see that it's more than 96 feet available for the fire truck to pass.
Is there a median or a?
Not on Potter's Court. There is one on Reed Court, but there's nothing on Cathy Lane or Potter's Court.
So we can remove the sign.
It's up to the board.
Well, no, so we can, according to fire code, remove the sign.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody wants to move?
I don't see anybody here to support keeping them, so.
Just
As long as the residents seem to be unanimously in favor of removing them.
his.
I would move to remove the signs.
Okay. Okay, Annie, I think you need to have your mic. All right.
Regarding the request from the residents, we have had a petition requesting for the removal of the signs.
Okay, well, as long as fire code allows it, I do not have any issues either. And I do believe that there's no island in the middle.
There's not.
That I mean, not that unless it's a huge island, then we should be okay. Okay,
There's also nobody here saying keep them,
right.
so.
They called me, they said, should we come and we reiterate our request? And I said, this has brought up, has been brought up multiple times.
But the people who want them removed said that.
Yes,
Nobody called you and said keep them.
no.
Okay, thank you, that's all.
Okay. So moved by Bart, second by Annie, and then all in favor of removing it? Aye. Aye, okay.
Is there still a sign identifying it as a fire lane? I think the fire code, I'm reading at 103.6.2.
That is just for the access road, which is, so
okay.
there, yes.
Very
One
good.
side of the street will remain.
Does have it. Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
These are the signs of no stopping anytime, no blocking.
Next item is sign application for property located at 623 Middle Neck Road. This came in front of the board last time. Is there anyone? Yeah, Mr. Nissan.
Good evening. Yeah, it works. My name is Dan Nissan. Eagle Master Signs, 156 East 23rd Street, New York. And we redesigned the sign. It's basically a doctor's office, so it's made like any corporate sign would be, black and white. It keeps the integrity of the building. You see all the cornices.
I think this is a lot nicer than the white one we saw last time, so thanks
Yeah,
for
that wasn't
making
my
the
decision.
adjustment. Even though I think, what?
That wasn't my decision.
Oh, it wasn't, okay.
No.
I mean, it's obviously the choice, I'm hoping this is the choice of the owner.
Well, I told him.
Using a black
I told him
line.
this is going to work.
The sign looks nicer than before. I still believe that it's not what the village is aiming for, but I think with what's going on now, I am personally okay with this sign. A couple of questions. The frame of the sign is properly painted, I'm assuming, or will be painted?
Will be repainted.
Repainted. And also, you don't know if the electricity
We don't
inside
know.
is working
We
or
don't
not.
know. If it doesn't have, we can put LEDs in it. If it
Right.
doesn't work,
I mean,
or
I
don't know
don't
if it needs
believe
to be
that because it's dark, I know Bart doesn't like the illumination one, but if it's really all black and it's going to be very dim light, it's actually not going to look so bad at night. And I don't think it's going to be offensive, but I'll leave that up to the board to decide. I think it looks nicer.
I like it.
It's fine with me. Okay. Who wants to move it?
I'll move it.
Moved by Ali, seconded by Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have another sign, or this is the only one?
This is the only one.
Okay. I thought there was another sign. You didn't do that one, I guess. All right. Thank you, Mr. Nissan.
All the best.
All right.
The
Going on a
next,
date after? Or did you come?
There is another sign.
Okay.
Do you want to do the other sign application now?
yes, right after. The next item on the agenda, other new item, is a sign application for 103 Steamboat Road.
I think we have two other applications.
It's this one, and there's another one on Middle Neck Road for the pharmacy, correct?
One more pharmacy.
If the applicant please come to the, yep.
So why all these things are... Okay, Mr. Scissors. I like that. Who is
It's
Mr.
really gonna be
Scissors?
this one.
Yeah.
Maybe the experimental one.
Yeah.
There's no details on the window.
His first name, Edward.
This is the one without the sign, and that's the one with the sign. And that has the sign.
Um, so you have the material here?
No, I didn't.
What
know
is
we
the
needed-
material you're using?
It's gonna be a wooden board with
It's-
carved out.
Okay.
Letters.
And I see lights on top. You have
Yeah.
lights on top of it?
Yep, it's gooseneck. lights.
Gooseneck lights? Very nice. Okay.
And it's
I really
black,
like it.
black with gray letters.
Thank you.
Simple.
I like the name. Who's the barber? Oh, you're the barber? Let me see. Let me see your hands. Hey, they're not shaking.
Wait a second, I was a barber once, what does that mean?
Okay. All right. I like it. Any? There's no numbers.
I'll move it. Second.
Yeah. Really nice.
Thank
Good
you
taste.
So much.
Who did the sign?
It was all his idea.
Really? So he's the designer and the barber?
Barber, designer, operator,
Yes.
haircutter. All in
Okay.
one.
Very good. All right.
Mayor Board, you're okay with the lettering in the window as well?
There's no lettering.
You're not gonna put
No,
the
that's
lettering
just
in there?
experimental. I just gave him a picture.
I actually like it.
Yeah, I gave it to him. That's just the glass though.
Oh, that's
I
just
don't
the
have
glass?
the sign, yeah.
Do you have the picture? Or is it
I have this
Has
one.
it just
No,
You don't want to do the lettering on the window?
The lettering looks nice.
are we allowed to do it? I thought we weren't. If we're allowed to do it, then we could, make it a little smaller and just leave it. This is just
I
an experimental
actually
one.
I think it's
I like it.
25%,
it.
it can cover up to 25% of the window.
But it's not. But the thing is, the other side is not going to be in it. Where
Right,
the
there's
brown
nothing on the other side. Wherever the brown is just
clear
whatever they
window.
were painting with paper and stuff like that, so it shouldn't get
I
in the
think
window.
I think you should leave it.
Leave
We
it?
have somebody
Maybe
walking
just
on the
No,
side.
leave it meaning like leave the sign there. I
Like
think it
that.
looks really
With,
nice.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good taste.
thank you very much.
Okay, maybe we
Appreciate
hire you as a designer.
it. Thank you so much.
We should all give him.
Should I give the flyers out?
A trial haircut free.
And what do you do for guys like me and Ellie?
We'll give you a hot towel.
Thanks for leaving me out of that stuff.
You got more hair than both of us put together. So Louis makes up for all of us. You gotta do a makeover for him.
I spoke to him before. He'll come.
It's moved and
Okay.
seconded.
It's moved and
All in
seconded.
favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, passed
Thank you.
unanimous.
Good job. Good luck.
Thank
When
you.
are you
you.
opening your
Thank you.
store?
As soon as Mr. Steve here,
Why don't you call me tomorrow?
call you tomorrow.
Is there any hold up on the?
You want coffee,
Nothing.
breakfast? What am I doing?
All right.
Donuts.
No. Hey.
Donuts.
Right, I'll call you tomorrow,
Alright.
8:59.
Good job, guys.
It's
Thank
at
you
the
very
corner of
Thank you, guys.
All the best. Good night.
on Steamboat Road. They just did a renovation on those apartments right across from Dore Enterprises.
Thank you.
Yes, that corner they updated. Yes, across from Wood Road, correct.
Somebody put minutes thought into something. Somebody put minutes thought into something.
Okay. Good. You want to do the other design?
You want
Oh,
to
you
go
wanna
through
go-
that one? Just whatever you like.
Oh, fine. You know what? The next one is pretty quick, so just next to the next one.
If they're waiting here, you want to just go through 621 Middle Neck Road?
Okay. Let's do that.
All right, so the next item, we're just going to 621 Middle Neck Road as well.
Let me
That's a
see.
sign application. I'm just going to pull it up just to
Which item is it on the?
under G.
Hi. So I'm from Signorama. We're making the sign for Nagila Pharmacy, business name Harvard Pharmacy. And the sign is made of the panel, which is PVC, and we matched the color of the panel with the building. And the rest of the sign will be made of
Is this next door
It's
to?
exactly
Yeah.
right next door, yes,
Yeah.
620, right next door, to the one that was just approved.
The medical office.
Yes.
Actually, we started with the panel in black color, but we changed it to white or kind of off-white to match with the color of the building, so we wouldn't have like many colors. So we have to go back to black.
I don't like this. I think if you want to do anything, at least do black, that it's going to look similar to the other one.
Okay. Okay.
And I would, if you're okay, I would do the same lettering.
Yeah, this is actually this is channel letters, so
I know.
yeah.
I'm just saying it would actually make it
Okay.
more
Coherent.
similar. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be one sign, a different sign.
Okay.
You know, one black, one white, one blue.
Yeah.
One. It's just, I think it's going to look a lot nicer and bring some. Right.
I know you're just a sign manufacturer, but do you like that?
I mean, like for me, like it can be looked at from different angles, but like I process.
I don't know what angle you're looking at it.
I process what.
I'm pretty sure if I looked at it at any angle, it would look like that.
Actually, like I process what the customer wants,
Good,
and
okay.
I try to match it like with.
Is there a specific reason why white and blue?
Customer wanted blue and white for the panel because that's the color of the building. So I didn't want to go to deviate a lot from what's there. So
You see, when we saw this sign before next door to you, the medical building, they came with the white also, and I think it blends in and it makes it very blah. There's no
Okay.
contrast, and I think the other way at least you get some contrast. And if you want to put lighting, I don't think we would like for you to have lighting behind the white because it's going to shine out and it's going to look really nasty at night. I think if
yeah.
you make it dark, make it black,
Mhm.
it brings some similarity in that
Yeah.
area. The two signs are going to look similar. One's pharmacy,
Okay.
one's medical. I think it actually works better.
Yeah.
Again, I leave that up to the board to also opine on this, but I think the black would much look.
So you can see it again.
So I mean, like I have a drawing of
No.
whatever
So
we
do you
designed
have
and-
the sign?
Bring up the one that you just approved.
Yeah.
There you
No,
go.
not this. No,
That
not
one?
this. Yeah, this.
Yeah.
Are you okay with this?
Yes, actually, like we started with a design similar to this. You know,
Yeah.
like
Do you have any different fonts than that?
we can
You
go.
know, anything in like the initial uppercase, maybe some lowercase, or little block caps, or?
Actually, the customer wanted all caps, so that's why like we went with all caps. And
Let me see the black one.
Anyone else
That
have an opinion on that?
we just had this paper for notes. Actually, the smaller wordings or the smaller letters, these wouldn't be eliminated. Only the Nagila Pharmacy will be channel letters. The small wordings will be just acrylic.
Mm. I mean, he has a point. Just in your face kind of a thing. Nakila Pharmacy.
Everything block caps, it's same size, does it just?
I don't know. Again, I don't know the reasoning behind it. There's a reason that the UDAP is there. You can come forward. Do you really want everything to be capped, or there's no? You don't. I mean, is there a specific reason that?
No, if it's gonna be nice as a a small word, N should supposed to be cap. And the
No, of
rest-
course, no, of course. No,
Initial
it's
cap.
you can have
Yeah.
initial caps, but the
Yeah.
rest you should have regular. I think it looks nicer. It's softer. If you want to have kosher vitamins all caps, it's smaller. I think there's smaller words.
Yeah, on the
I
bottom.
don't. On the bottom, if you want to have all caps, maybe that's really even that's up to you. But I think it looks a lot softer, and if you want to do black with
Yeah, the black, I'm completely fine with that. The black and the background.
black back, and then you can have different. I'm okay with this. What?
Notice it's fax and copy from the pharmacy.
Fax and copy. Where?
Underneath in the center.
Oh,
Yeah, because we have a service as a fax and the copy. We have a copy machine, fax.
okay. I mean, I don't know what to, that's that.
The small ones.
All the words.
No,
The Nagila pharmacy channel letters made of aluminum frame and acrylic face, translucent, and it's matte layer or like finish. And the kosher vitamins, this is acrylic, matte acrylic, and that's just applied to the panel, not eliminated.
Um,
I don't know if the Nagila will be small caps, then the pharmacy has to be.
It would be like normal, like N would be capital, P would be capital, and the rest of the.
you can
words
even
would-
make, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Um, you definitely want the fax and copy there.
No.
It's, it's like, why don't you put,
Can I put in store
kebab
number?
and, some other stuff.
Can we put
What?
it? Can we put 621 store number?
You can put the, I think the address can be.
621 is nice.
Yeah, yeah, you can put the,
We
yeah,
can put kosher vitamin 621 and Sejak also.
yeah. I mean, yeah, and make it black. I think that would be fine.
But maybe make the 621 in a circle or something to
Yeah.
offset,
To
to
distinguish
not
it.
be the same block,
Of course.
bold letters.
Yeah. Of course, you can put it still.
And you can, if you want, I don't know if there's a pharmacy sign that you would like to add.
Oh, like a little mortar
The,
pestle.
the RX.
Whatever,
Or
there are
Rex,
different
mortar,
ones.
pestle.
There are different
Oh,
ones.
more-
There's
more than
RX.
one
There's
pestle.
the snake and the cup and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, actually I have it.
You should be telling him this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes.
Right. You see, you
I
can
like-
do that. It's right. There you go.
Yeah.
There's so many different ones. So you can have that and then have 621, whatever the number is, and then the rest you can do.
Yeah, you could do the symbol.
When are you opening?
If the permit and everything goes as planned, I can open it in September.
Are they pending on you?
Do you receive the permit?
Things are
for-
moving forward, okay?
Yeah.
You think they're gonna have everything ready before the next meeting to open? September 14th.
I don't know where you are inside the store, what you're doing yet. 'Cause I know
They
work
gave you
was-
the plan.
I know there was work that was started without a permit and then
Yeah.
a permit.
Yes.
How long do you think it's gonna take for you to finish to start?
2 weeks. Everything inside only takes 2 weeks because we put some shelving and we
Okay.
don't have any real construction. We just raise
Okay.
the floor.
So, you guys are okay with saying pending approval by the building department?
Yes.
All those things are done?
Yes.
Okay. All right, fine. So do me a favor, when you get if you can send the final design ASAP to him, just forward to me and I share it with the board. If there's any concerns, we'll let you know. Okay, so we'll try to get it in as soon as possible.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we're going back to the item B. No,
So
there was
3
tabled.
new stores opening up.
Oh, is it tabled or?
Approved subject to building
Oh.
department.
Approved pending, I think, well, we have to vote. I mean, anybody wants to move it approved pending? Moved by Steve, seconded by Ali. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so Steve, just do me a favor, when you get it, just send it to me, I'll share it with them. So good news is, we got 3 new stores, or storefronts coming to Great Neck. It's wonderful news, at one time. All right, good.
I think we still have a couple of blocks without a pharmacy on it. Things to look forward to.
I can't stop businesses from coming here. If somebody thinks that they're going to be successful coming here, the 3 other, right now we have three pharmacies already.
For Colony,
No, 3.
Colony, CVS,
Was-
one
Chemist,
underneath that.
Great Neck Chemist.
Great Neck Chemist.
And that's it. The other one closed.
the fourth one. No, I think there's a fourth.
No, the 4th one closed.
Yeah.
That was middle.
The one
That's a different
diagonal.
kind of drugstore.
So that. Bro, so right, I'm saying, so that was the 4th one. So they left. So now maybe he just decided to stop. Now the building is coming instead. Okay.
Going back to item B under new business, there's a request by Temple Betel to suspend time parking along Nirvana Avenue as well as Florence Street and Old Mill Road during their services during the high holidays, September 6th at night, September 7th during the day, September 8th during the day, as well as Yom Kippur, September 15th at night, and September 16th during the day.
I think we're going to suspend a lot of those parkings anyway. Should we discuss it now? No. Meaning like we usually do suspend the parking, overnight parkings and such. Last night, this year we're not. Depending on what's going to happen, we'll decide. But so far I think we're doing okay. Okay-ish.
I believe what you have, you suspended overnight parking, Mayor.
Right, but we
Timed
also-
parking
right.
remained in effect on the streets.
During the day, I thought we suspended it on Steamboat Road.
You suspended it anywhere but on county roads, which is Middle Neck Road, Steamboat Road, Hicks Lane.
I remember I did suspension maybe 2 years ago. It was that we suspended it.
Could have been.
Okay. All right. Very good. We'll decide. But for now, that's what they're asking. So that's I move to pass that.
Second.
Moved
All in
and
favor?
seconded, all in favor?
Aye. Okay. Next.
The next item on the agenda is a request by Bagel Hut to place a temporary storage unit behind your store.
Okay.
That's for the
Are
high
they the only
holidays.
ones
that
who are
go-
asking? Because usually we used to get
No,
them.
that's the only one.
That's the only one who
Yep.
asked. We
Yep.
used to get the other one also. No.
No.
The- So
They used to be two there, yeah, the kosher.
You get the kosher-
meat store used to
right.
ask also, but I don't
Was
think
that for
they've
Passover
asked
they
in the
asked?
last couple of years.
Everfresh usually asks during
Right.
Passover.
Everfish asked for Passover and the kosher meat market. I remember
don't
they used to
recall
ask. No.
asking.
They,
Yeah, I
they
thought
used,
they did,
yeah,
but-
they used to ask when the two brothers owned it, remember the two brothers?
Right.
Swag out, yeah.
They used to own it, when they used to own it, they used to ask, but they haven't come to the board and asked in the last couple of years.
Okay. All right. So
What's the status with their noisy
Oh, that was,
equipment?
that was all fixed, it was all corrected, he changed the motor. The resident that was here that spoke at the meeting was very satisfied, he actually came to court and spoke on his behalf.
Good, okay.
no, but there are two other ones that he's complaining about now.
I don't know anything about
The Chosen and
Pizza Rocks.
Pizza Rocks. Apparently theirs need to also either be moved or corrected. So if you can start looking into it before it starts getting. Okay.
The request is from September 10th through September 16th, which is Friday before the Yom Kippur till the day of Yom Kippur.
Okay.
I'll move it. Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
See- Any objections? No?
Aye.
Okay, passed unanimous. The next item on the agenda is a parking license agreement with Ferrari of Long Island. We have spoken to the current licensee of the premise at 265 East Shore Road. They are in agreement that they don't mind sharing the parking lot with another dealership in Long Island. They're requesting for up to 50 parking stalls for $5,000 a month.
Okay. And Peter, you have looked at the contract and there's
Yes,
no-
Yes, I have, Mayor, and I also contacted the prospective purchaser of that property to make sure that they were aware of the additional licensee, and they're fine with it.
Okay.
As long as they leave the cars. I didn't think a Ferrari can get on that parking lot, actually. They're very low to the ground.
That's their
That's their problem, but
It's their problem. Okay. I move on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed unanimous. The next item is appointment of Susan Shore to the Planning Board.
Right. So I looked at her CV, and it was sent to the chairman of the board. He interviewed her as well, and I do believe that she's a great asset and as a new member to the planning board. So I would like the board to confirm her appointment.
So move.
It's
I
moved.
second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimous.
Thank you. Please make sure that she receives the paperwork.
Yeah.
Yes, we have her email address.
Okay.
The next item is the annual agreement between the village engineer H2M and the village. The only difference is that till now we had a retainer of $15,368 that they used to charge. Um, that has been replaced by an hourly rate, which has not changed since last year. The hourly rate shall remain at $235. If there's a special project, there will be an agreed upon proposal that has to be approved by the board before we can move forward with them.
Okay, I think this way we can probably save some money on the contract.
Yes, as the mayor spoke to him, and he agreed that based on the hourly charge, probably that retainer will go down.
Okay. So I move that as well.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
That's passed unanimous. The next item on the agenda is a agreement between Village of Great Neck and Mojo Stumer Associate. As has been by the board, they have been selected to design and oversee the construction of the new village hall.
So just briefly, I wanted to bring everybody up to speed with the development of the village hall. We've had multiple meetings and multiple contacts with Mojo Stumer regarding the design and the workflow of the village hall, and things are going very well. I think everyone's going to be pleased. Obviously, the outside design or the exterior design is still being worked on, but we are getting very close to a final design. It will be shared with the public when we get there. Obviously, we are in sort of a rush to get the initial plans, or the plans that we can actually submit to Nassau County to get our gas, electric, and sewer as they're fixing the road. We want to make sure that we have all those in place so we don't have to rip the road off again. And I encourage people who are doing anything as such, they should really try to get their plans in so they can get their lines into their buildings as soon as they can. Based on our conversation with DPW today, these initial work will begin end of August, beginning of September, which may take about a month or so. They said between 4 to 8 weeks. After everything is set and all the infrastructure is planted, they will go ahead with doing the resurfacing and putting the blacktop. They are not sure if it's going to go from south to north or north to south. They may actually do some parts and they jump and then do the other parts and then come back, depending on many different things that they have to deal with. We are also thinking about fixing our medians, which are in a horrible state of despair. So that's something that we discussed with them as well, which is going to be decided on how we're going to move forward. So please expect the next couple of months to have a lot of road work. So I apologize while we're getting these things done, but I'm hoping by the end of the year we're going to have a much nicer downtown or thoroughway. That said, you have spoken, you went over this, and there's, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor, Abraham and I reviewed the contract together, and I believe there were some minor changes that have been incorporated that we had suggested.
Okay. Any concern, questions? Okay. All right. I'll move to approve the budget. I'm sorry, to approve the contract.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimous. The next item is a request to, for two employees of the village to attend the NICOM fall training. It will be between the 20th and 24th of September in Saratoga Spring, upstate New York, for the cost not exceeding $2,700. That includes the hotel cost of $957 and $255 for the program itself, plus gas tolls and incidentals.
September 20th through 24th.
That is correct. That's in the middle of a
In the middle
Jewish.
of Sukkot.
That is correct. Otherwise, I would go, as I would request for myself.
I would go too, and I would
Yeah.
highly recommend anybody on the board to go.
They've been doing this for the past couple of years. They've
The
spent
holidays Sukkot.
balls smacking them with the holidays.
I'm not sure if we should blame them or blame the Jewish holidays, but
There's really no opportunity. They always have it in September. There's really no 4-day
Right, I
block
know,
that's gonna work.
but there was a couple of years ago that it did work, but let's see, okay. We'll see what happens next year. I think next year the holidays falling in October.
will be very much later than this year. Last time it worked was 2017.
Fall in October, that's my NICOM.
Oh, you can go.
You can't go if you start late.
At the Public Works one.
Yeah, so next year, the holidays fall September again. Well, October, end of September. It's gonna be right, it's gonna be September 26th is Rosh Hashanah.
Yep.
Um,
The last holiday will be on October 18th.
sorry?
The last of the holidays will be on
I know, but I'm just saying
October
that this
18th.
year it's actually a week later, no, it's
No,
almost a
it's
month
a whole
later.
month later.
Yeah, okay. 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later. Okay. So, somebody moved and seconded?
Nope.
Moved by Steve, seconded by Ellie. All in favor? Aye. Okay, done. Thank you.
The next item is a request by the Superintendent Haramis to attend September, the business meeting for this, I'm sorry, what conference is this?
It's a NISBA, New York State Building Officials Conference.
Okay.
And they have two dates. One is from September 8th through 10th, and the business meeting is the seminar is September 28th through 30th. Would you like to?
There's no fee to the village. I have my training, everything paid for from the organization. So my hotels, if it's airfare, gas tolls, et cetera, it's all paid for by others. The one conference is $125 that I just put into the village. The other conference, which is more expensive, $300 one, I have them paying.
And so the cost to the village is gonna be $125.
And my
The time that Mr. Haramis won't be here.
That's 2 days, you said?
It's 3 days, beginning of September, 3 days, end of September.
So there's 6 days total?
Yes.
All right. And you need to do that for your recredentialing and stuff? Okay. Anybody likes to move?
I move it.
Second.
Okay, move and seconded by Bart.
I just have a question. I don't remember having like a 6-day conference before.
It's a 3-day and 3-day conference.
No, I know, but did we, this was
I
done
don't
in years
remember.
past?
Was this done before? Last year?
Well, last year was COVID, and I don't remember in the past.
This is a 3-day conference.
No, but he said 3 days and 3 days.
There, September 8th through September 10th is the annual conference and an annual business meeting. And then 28th through 30th is the seminar.
Are you a president of this thing or something? Yeah, I'm a delegate to New York State.
Any questions or?
No, that was it. I was just curious.
Okay,
I so move it.
so first and seconded by Bart.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
The next item is a memo that I have written to the board. So currently we have our investment bank. We are investing with either Flushing Bank or with New York Class. New York Class is paying just 0.03% in interest. Flushing Bank has a better rate, which is now 0.25, but every few weeks they keep lowering it. We used to get 1.7 and it keeps going down.
No, you said it was 0.3%. This one is 0.25%.
0.03.
0.03%.
Correct.
You heard it right. So do we go further from 0.005?
Metropolitan Commercial Bank has come to Great Neck Plaza a few years ago, and we have been in contact with them. They have been in contact with us. They really would like to do business with local governments, and we're hesitant to do any business with them as far as day-to-day, affairs of the village and financial affairs of the village with them. However, when it comes to investment, they are offering a 0.04%.
0.04, so that's
I'm sorry,
0.01.
I'm sorry, 0.4,
Oh.
0.4%,
Okay, that, okay.
which is slightly higher than what we're
Does
getting from
anybody
them.
offer 4%?
Not unfortunately, we cannot. Well, we could put our money in federal bonds and treasury bonds, but if you want to just put it with the banks, that's what they pay.
I have to discuss it. Okay, for now, I don't mind this, but I have to find out. I have to discuss it with someone else.
So
Okay.
this is. I'm sorry. Well, we are limited by New York State Comptroller's Office to what we can invest as well. So
Okay,
No crypto.
no,
no crypto.
no.
Okay, I'm not so sure about this crypto business, but okay.
So there's a resolution, the two resolution. One is if Metropolitan Commercial Bank could be designated as as a depository to for a portion of the funds of Great Neck, and the second one is if I could be the agent of the village to open the account with them and move some of the funds to that bank.
I don't see any problem with that.
That's a move. Who's the gentleman to contact Metropolitan Bank? What's his name? Because we deal with.
I believe his last name is Gonzalez.
Yeah. They treat us nice, so I like them.
They try to deal help the local businesses.
Yeah.
There are many times they have contacted me, and when Joe was here, we just didn't want to move the operation to them. We
No, they're
tried,
pretty good.
the operation we
contacted us.
tried, yeah.
We moved a few of our accounts there, and they treat us pretty well. So I do recommend using them.
Are you seconding it?
I second it. Yeah.
All in favor? First and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, thank you.
Is that for both resolutions?
Sorry?
Is that for both resolutions?
Yes, for you to be the contact person and also to.
Okay, thank you. The next item is just looking ahead. High holidays are coming up, and in the past we have had requests from local organizations that they're trying to accommodate the congregations by putting out tents. Given that we are not going to have another meeting till after the first set of high holidays, we would like to pass a resolution allowing the superintendent of building to act on behalf of the board for any applications that meet all the requirements that um, if it could be approved by Mr. Haramis rather than waiting till there's a board meeting.
But as long as I'm sure if the fire codes are met and everything else done, and they have the proper setbacks, that it's not intruding in anybody else, I don't personally have any issue. I think it should be done that way anyway. So we're gonna move to allow the building department to make these decisions and give the appropriate permits.
And these are only for the tent that will be removed by September 30th,
Correct.
which is through the end of the following month, will be after all the holidays are passed, right?
Right, okay. All right, I move that.
Do they need a little more time beyond September 30th?
The last holiday is on 29th, so the 30th will be the day after.
You wanna give it until the 4th, October 4th?
Yeah, they need a little more
which is a
time. By
Monday.
the
That's a
time
Monday?
10 companies come and remove
Yeah.
stuff, sometimes it takes about a week or so.
Let's put it October
Yeah.
4th.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Move.
Yeah.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It's passed unanimous. Mayor, would you like to talk about this first?
You can go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so the next item is a adoption of working definition of anti-Semitism. Um, the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance have been in contact with their local chapter, and they have reached out to various different local governments. Town of North Hempstead as well as Nassau County has adopted such a working definition of anti-Semitism. Just to put it simple, as you could see on the screen, in the middle of your screen, you could see the words that it basically defines what anti-Semitism is. I'm just giving a very simple example. If you try to describe a box to someone, you try to say, what are the dimension and how does it work and what does it look like? The same thing, if you want to define anti-Semitism, you have to have a definition of what it's considered to be anti-Semitism. And they have been working on this definition for a while, and finally they have come up with this definition, and they have sent it to the village, and mayor has looked at it. It's just a resolution to adopt the working definition of anti-Semitism.
So I don't know if there's anything that needs to be discussed. Obviously, there has been a significant rise in anti-Semitism with definition, with discussions that people have, the writings that people make on social media and also on different channels. I think it's important to really speak in unified voice against anti-Semitism or any other racism. And bigotry, and I think this I wanted to have solidarity with town of North Hempstead and Nassau County, and I'm sure there are other places that have done the same. I think 5 towns have done it, and other places, and I think it's an important message to give, and it's an important part of our agenda tonight. So I would like to move this and get for a second.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's passed unanimous. The next item, as it was evident from the police report that at the beginning of the meeting, there has been few accidents at the corner of Hampshire Road and Baker Hill Road. There is no stop sign currently on any direction on Baker Hill Road. There is on both sides of Hampshire Road, there is a stop sign currently installed. The cars are coming down the hill pretty fast, and the cars who are exiting, making a turn or going straight on Hampshire Road, they don't stop, they don't pay enough attention. There have been a couple accidents in the past few weeks. Past few months. So this is a request to discuss that.
I think this is almost similar, not quite similar, but to Hampshire and Fairview, which we had also a bunch of accidents. I think, I don't know how visibility is going south on Hampshire. I tried to go there, and I think there is steep, and I think it's a good idea to have a stop sign there. Even though I know not everyone's going to come to a complete stop, and if I know that not everyone's going to stop in the beginning, but slowly people will learn about that new stop sign, and hopefully they yield to it.
About putting the LED lights on the Hampshire side, if people are not stopping on the Hampshire side. Like we,
No, I think
the accidents have been during the daytime, so it's not.
right.
but it's still a bit more blaring when you see lights flashing at you as you come to the
Why
stop
don't we
sign.
stall it and see what happens? I think that by stalling it alone, you're going to significantly decrease. I don't know. I mean, if I
I
would
don't know, I
put
kinda-
if I put put it anywhere, put it on Middle Neck Road
Ah.
side, because they're going much faster on Middle Neck, I'm sorry,
On Baker Hill, but they don't have to stop on Baker. They're
No,
coming
they
down
do
the
now.
hill.
They don't, now they need to stop.
We're putting in
Ah.
stop signs.
I'm saying, but because if they're coming down Baker, they don't need to stop, but because coming across on Hampshire are not stopping either, but they have a
Stephen,
stop
we're
sign.
putting stop signs on Baker Hill,
I know,
at Hampshire's. So you
The
said they don't
Hampshire
have to
has
stop.
already.
I know, but they're not stopping on Hampshire.
No, they are stopping, but then by the time they start coming, this other car comes in and.
Baker goes a little bit downward, so you're going toward Middle Neck Road, it's a little stopping
Yeah.
downward, so they're going fast. So I think if you put the stop sign, it's gonna be good for the school anyway, because people will slow down, so I think
Yeah,
either way you do it, it's just a good idea just to do it.
I know a lot of people don't like stop signs, but unfortunately,
It's a school,
either we
it's
have to get slower cars, go back to horse and buggies.
Battery cars. They run on
Battery
battery.
cars go very fast.
But also you save energy when you don't speed up. When you're just rolling, you're making energy when you come down a hill.
I don't think anyone thinks that way.
I do. That's what I think. I'm making energy. Why do I want to stop making energy?
I know. I'm telling you, people who drive those cars don't think about energy. Okay.
Hey, just have in mind that drivers that are going on Baker, going toward Middle Neck Road, they're coming down a hill, so it might not be enough room for them to stop all of a sudden after the.
No, there's enough room because they can see the stop sign even when they're going up the hill. Where is this?
It's going up.
It's going upwards.
That's heading east on Big Hill, like going
So
to
I'm
your
saying
house.
stop sign might,
School's on the
trees
left,
might
top
confuse
left.
the stop sign a little bit.
Yeah. So keep going.
The truck's in the way.
So this is this is exactly the intersection. So
Now
there
you
is
have
a
to keep
stop
going
sign.
backwards a little bit.
Is there a stop sign on the next block going west?
No.
So there's,
Next stop
You
sign
see-
is right in front
Oh,
of
the
a village hall.
You see how
No, I'm
much
saying going
room you
west.
have?
Essex.
is there a stop sign on
At
this?
Essex.
Here.
Just so there, further down, there's another one. Not this one, next one.
There's no stop sign there.
No, this is
Keep going.
Colgate.
Keep going.
This is Essex. The next one is 2 blocks away on Essex.
3 blocks away. We'll go back.
On the third block, yeah.
So right now, there's no stop sign currently for 5 blocks, is that?
Also, there's one at Essex, as you can see. There's nothing on Colgate. There's nothing on Hampshire. Cambridge doesn't have. Ruxton doesn't have. I'm talking about just on Baker, correct.
No, I understand.
Devon doesn't have, and the corner of Warwick there is.
Well, in front of Village Hall by the Trustees School.
There is one,
Right,
yeah.
there's one.
Oh yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's Ruxton there
So
is.
there's one there, and then there's nothing after, and then there's
Two
another one.
exits.
Then Hampshire, we should put one.
But again, that's at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, but the hill is not a huge hill, and I'm telling you, if you're going up the hill, you still can see the stop sign.
Also, again, during the winter time when there's a school is in session, there's a lot of traffic at that intersection. Cars are going much slower. It might create a backup.
You mean with the
Right,
stops?
Louis? Right, Louis? Put the cars back up during school hours?
My opinion wasn't asked on this, but I don't think that it's a place for a stop sign, but it's your decision. I don't think it's the proper place for a stop sign,
Why?
because it's on a hill, it's already 20 miles an hour speed limit, and they're not even following that.
It's 20 mile speed limit during school
School zone.
season.
It's a 20 mile an hour
Summertime.
speed limit for school.
Right, but summertime is not
When
school.
the buses start to come out of there, you're gonna have the stop sign, it's gonna be hard for the buses.
But we had the same discussion with Fairview.
Cars could back up into the driveway where the buses are coming up.
Hmm?
I think cars can back up at the stop sign to block the driveway where the buses are coming out. Is that possible?
This is the driveway of the school, where the buses are coming out.
So you're going
right
to say
here.
that there's going to be a backup of a block of cars?
It's not a block.
Because it's
Yeah,
a block.
this is the exit from the school, and there's only
Two houses.
two houses to the corner.
Figure 100 feet.
That's Hampshire.
Yes, that's the corner of Hampshire.
Takes 5 cars to back it up.
Yeah.
20 foot a car, 100 feet.
Louis, do you have another suggestion of that intersection?
Yeah, put a police there.
Okay, a suggestion that works.
And write tickets.
Well, I did see a police car that backed up into the school driveway the other day.
They have been doing it for the
And
past
then,
couple of weeks.
as
Yeah.
somebody went through the stop sign, he zipped right out and pulled him over. But how often that happens is,
What about a speed, one of those signs that measures how fast you're going? That tends to slow people down a little.
I'm seeing the problem is people killing him.
People what?
Trustee Hope mentioned about putting a LED stop sign,
On the Hampshire stop sign.
replacing the one that we already have. Maybe you want to try that before.
We're on Hampshire.
On Hampshire, there's already.
So on the side street.
The accidents, from what I'm hearing, happen not because they don't stop. They stop and they start going, but the other cars come so fast. They
Well, that
just
means
clip them.
somebody's not stopping.
I don't
It
think
means
so.
somebody's not stopping.
Well, no, if
The
you're
one
going
going
down
on Baker.
Yeah, yeah.
No one on Baker stops.
No,
I
it's
don't think-
cars on Hampshire.
They're speeding.
I don't think if you stop at the stop sign on Hampshire, if you actually stop at the stop sign, and you can see traffic in both directions pretty far. You're not gonna get hit.
Well,
It's the problem is
But you
is
don't
the
stop,
traffic
they're
on
not
Hampshire.
stopping. I just want to see people just don't even, they just.
The drivers
drive
don't have
by it.
patience to
They
just
go by
look
that
through,
stop
you
sign.
know, thoroughly to see if
Everybody
there's any.
rolls, everybody rolls the stop sign.
They don't even roll.
The
I've seen them
problem
go
is not
straight
Baker
through.
Hill, the problem is Hampshire.
Stop signs are not designed to slow cars down. Stop signs are designed to stop traffic.
I know that's what they designed, but they do slow people down. If we want, we have two LED stop signs, right? Still,
Still have those two, yes.
you want to put it in Hampshire and see what happens in the next couple of months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this happens mainly for a car that currently, as you could see, the vehicle is right there. That's what happens. People who are coming from Piccadilly, they usually do stop. The problem is people coming from Hicks that they zip through the intersection.
I think we should do what we did on Hicks. Okay.
No, Hicks.
It's Hicks.
There's a
oh,
LED.
Hicks with
Yeah,
the
there's a blinking LED.
Yeah.
I still have the two LEDs.
And put a sign
When
that
we
says
bought the
stop sign
LEDs,
ahead.
we bought,
I believe there
we
is.
bought 4 of them. We still have 2 of them left that we haven't.
So moved. Second? Okay.
No, there is no sign stating
I also
that.
requested, since we're talking about stop signs, and when we had the 2 extra ones, I also asked at that time to put them in the circle on Polo Road for the school. But if you're gonna put 2 here, then you would need to buy 4 more, and they're not cheap.
Let's do an experiment over here.
You're saying in both directions on Polo?
All 4 directions on Polo.
So
At
on
the
Nirvana
traffic
and
traffic
Brokaw,
They got Brokaw,
Nirvana
Nirvana,
and both
and 2
Polo.
on Polo
Right.
itself. And, now with school starting, it's still my thought that it's probably the right thing to do. As a matter of fact, the bushes in the middle of
Yeah,
Polo.
were those removed by us?
Yeah, yes, I removed them because when I was there and I was installing the street signs, I realized that if you're sitting at any one of those intersections, you can't see across the intersection with those bushes there. So in effort to make it a safer turnabout, I removed those bushes that were there.
I think that was a good move.
I saw the mulch. You filled it
Louis,
with
how
mulch.
about, do you think it would help also to repaint the white stop lines on Hampshire?
They're out painting, they've probably already been painted this week or last week.
I
Yeah,
think that
this
would
morning
help.
I saw guys
saw
out.
them doing it.
That would help.
My suggestion would be to put the LEDs up on Hampshire. They seem to be working. They seem to be working pretty decent on Hicks Lane. You know, that's one of those things that for a while they work and then people get used to them and
No,
you pick up
they
the
should be
pace,
good.
but.
I think that the LED signs, in front of.
Well, they definitely attract your attention.
The LED signs in front of Everfresh, I still think we need one in the middle of the roadway. Because that's, the problem is the traffic coming on the left lanes. So, at some point, maybe after Nassau County does the road.
On both on the
Both
front and
directions,
back.
both directions, yeah.
When they do the road, I think that
Yeah.
would, you know,
They-
we could certainly put one.
Nassau
There
County
and-
will put a beacon line, that beacon flashing lights when they replace that.
There and the other non-signalized, the one that we have.
Yeah,
In the middle, just put it there.
By the
By
tank,
rain,
by rain,
by rain, and, there's another one too.
The other one you can't put it at because it's at,
Clover?
Clover Drive. My suggestion would be to put the LEDs on Hampshire and see how that goes.
I'm
Yeah,
okay
I
with
do
that
too.
suggestion.
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, with the eyes?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
He says to have it on Hampshire.
Okay. So on that.
See, value your opinion.
Okay.
I don't know, we voted.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is to designate a parking spot in front of 242 Middle Neck Road. So let me just give you a little update here. So on the west side of Middle Neck Road, there used to be this fire hydrant, as you could see, at the corner of Millbrook and Middle Neck Road in front of 242 Middle Neck Road. And after moving the water main, they have moved it to the east side of the Middle Neck Road. So now it's taking two spots across the street, while here it was at the corner and it was taking only one spot. If the board wishes to direct the DPW to move the sign, as you could see right here, there's a sign here that says no parking here to the corner, and the corner would be the corner of Millbrook Court, this here. If this sign moves back up to the tree that is currently there, there will be one additional parking spot available, at least compensating for the missing, two spots across the street. This morning, Brian and we went and measured it. There will be still 37 feet available from the corner here to the parking spot that, if you decide to move that sign, there will be still additional 37 feet available for the cars that come out of Millbrook Court to make that right turn into Middle Neck Road.
I think we should do it.
So wait, the pump is being moved?
It's already moved
Already
across
moved.
the street and it's taking out two spots, unfortunately.
So this pump is live or dead?
There's no longer there.
No, they took it out
They-
while they were doing the.
So we can move it down to the red line,
Right.
you're saying?
Yes,
Saying
the gas main used to be on the east side, now it's on the west side, and the water main used to be on the west side, and now it's on the east side. That's why all the fire hydrants, if you look at now, they're all moved to the east side.
Okay.
They did not tell us, they just did it.
Louis, I think one of the trees by Millbrook
that's a good
is
idea.
also in very bad shape.
I think it's that one.
I think it's that one.
That's this.
So maybe it's time to take it out.
Oops.
I mean, it looked like a really bad shape.
Highlight it.
Yeah, no, that's, what the clerk had told me today, that the tree was dead.
We have to see at what age these trees die.
What's that?
In Great Neck, these trees die a lot earlier than they do in.
Well, I mean, you got these big trees, not just these,
Yeah,
it's
the
all
root-
these trees. These trees are big trees, they're shallow roots, there's no room for them to grow along the curb, the sidewalk is
I know.
And that's not just these trees, it's the trees along the medians on Middle Neck Road, it's the trees in front of people's homes, there's just, hundred-year-old trees. Live their life expectancy and they're just big.
I know, we just
Now
have to,
they're choking out.
we have to be more mindful when we plant these trees, not to plant these kind of trees.
If you look at some of the trees, even on, I mean, I'm gonna say the medians, if you look at some of the trees on the medians, the railroad ties that are there, they're blistering these railroad ties up where there's just no room for these trees.
Right, I
They're
know.
not,
It's not a natural spot for a tree, that size.
no.
I mean, in the middle of middle of the road, I know.
You know, and at some point, that's something that, you know, is gonna have to be looked at, especially now that you're talking about, the county repaving the Middle Neck Road and these are issues that you're gonna have to visit and see about these trees.
Right.
This is not talk that just happened, right, this talk went back all the way back to Steve Falk days when he was the mayor and he was trying to revitalize Middle Neck Road and the storefronts and these medians came up then and these big trees along the sides of the roads.
I've seen a number of
That
cars
was, that was
hitting those
20
trees
years
too.
ago. They haven't gotten any smaller.
Right. All right. So good. I mean, as I said, we did have a discussion today with Nassau County. Hopefully, we're going to start addressing it as soon as possible.
Is there a resolution to instruct the DPW to move the existing no parking here to corner sign to allow one additional parking in front of 242 Middle Neck Road?
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And please assess that tree.
And remove tree, right?
If-
Move tree, yes.
If it's not viable.
All you have to do is just push it, it just falls down. It's dead. It's that dead.
No, I know, it's a very big tree.
Personnel matter. Can we go into executive session, please?
You want to go to you want to go to the session? Let's just finish and then we go to the session on that one.
The next two items should we discuss before executive session?
The amnesty program. That also?
Yes.
All right. Very good. So we get a 10-minute break. We'll come back. Not a break. I'm sorry. 10-minute.
You wanna meet the personnel matter first? Or you wanna talk about
that was it. They did personal
I believe
matter.
there was a raise.
The raise, right.
They're right, yeah.
So there was a raise that was supposed to be made to one of the DPW employees that was
Barry.
Barry. That was mistakenly omitted when we gave the numbers. He's been here for 25 years, and I'm sorry. Again. So there was a raise that was mistakenly omitted when we gave the raises and the salaries. It was a while ago. Barry, who works in DPW, has been here for 25 years, and customarily the raise is about $2,500 at 25 years. This was omitted, and I'm asking the board to go ahead with the raise at this time. And I don't know if this is going to be retrospective or it's going to be prospective from here.
Date was June, so I think we're
It's-
pretty
it's-
good, just starting right from the next payroll.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Mayor, then is there a motion to correct the inadvertent salary and adjust by $2,500 the employee's salary prospectively effective with the next available payroll?
I'll move it.
Second.
Move and seconded. Everybody in agreement?
Aye.
All right, okay, thanks.
We're going to table item Q. We're moving to Amnesty Program 2021. Mr. Haramis, would you like to discuss it?
Yes.
And
So I'm just going to go quickly, and then you can just. So there has been a lot of apparently a lot of permits that are still open. They were not closed. This goes back to God knows when, 10, 15 years,
Correct.
maybe even longer. Obviously the purpose of this is to make sure that everything is done and is done properly in order for the safety of the constituents and people who live in the village of Great Neck, make sure that whatever was done properly, and that's the reason we do close these permits and make the final inspection. These final inspections were not done on timely matter, and the code is that if they're not done within a year or whatever the term limit of that permit was, that there's going to be, it has to be reopened, and a 50% of the original fee should be paid for this to be opened. At that time, the inspection gets done and the permit closed. Obviously, the purpose of going back is to make sure that everything was done as I mentioned, and this is not to penalize people that did not close the permits. For that reason, we are suggesting an amnesty program, which is going to allow the inspectors to go and inspect these areas and the houses that the permits were taken out for the price of $50 for things that are less than $1,000. This is within the first 60 days of the notice being mailed to them. Received. 60 days from the time it's received. And after that, the full price will be imposed. As far as anything that is more than $1,000, are we going to set a price?
discretion of
At the discretion, or are we going to set a price?
Peter, can I just, anything above 1,000 is usually a huge project. So imagine there's a $200 permit fee, and there's like the rest of it would be $800. If you take only 1%, that's the $80,000 job. So $80,000 job is usually a full house that they failed to obtain a certificate of occupancy, for example. For those, I think
So
that
okay. So those, I think, we would leave you to decide what it's going to cost. And
Could
based on-
perhaps the superintendent in batches at board meetings make a recommendation as to the proper amount for those jobs over $1,000, and the board could pass it a batch in a single resolution?
Okay, that we can do as well. So I think that's the right thing to do. From what I'm hearing, most of these permits that are not closed fall in the category of less than $1,000. So hopefully we can just get rid of those as quickly as possible. For those people who are listening, please make sure that if you do have an open permit, call the building department and try to bring it to their attention and try to close those, so you won't be, hopefully you won't receive these letters. Steve, you have anything to add?
If everybody receives a letter, anybody who receives a letter, just be patient. We will get out to you. We will inspect it. And we're here to help the residents and protect the residents is the most important thing. That's what we're here for, life safety, and that's what we want for our village, for our residents.
All right, thank you. So you have to pass that resolution?
Yes, is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Moved by trustee Kashi, seconded by trustee Hope. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it unanimously.
The next item is minutes for July 20th meeting.
Okay.
It's moved by trustee Sobol. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Hope. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Pass unanimous. The next item is the abstract for this Friday, August 20th. This includes a prior and current year abstract. This would be the last abstract for any items from last year. After this, everything will be for current year, correct?
Okay, so, I noticed that there was,
Can you use your mic?
oh, I noticed, the air conditioning was broken at one point, and then it seemed to be broken again. So were there two service calls? Because there was a.
So we called a local service call. They came, they inspected it, they gave us a $10,000 estimate to fix it. Then mayor reached out to Mr. Haramis. Mr. Haramis asked someone he knew. He came and he fixed it for $500.
Okay.
So we still had to pay, unfortunately,
Systematic
the
control.
service.
Okay.
I didn't want to mention the name.
Because I noticed that.
$265 or $295 or something.
Systematic the first price or the second price?
First.
It's crazy, 10,000.
I tried not to mention the names.
Well, I know, because I saw Systematic was on the second one. The first one I didn't recognize.
Local, not a local.
I see. And regarding the one issue that I showed you, I'm not sure how to go about, there's.
You might want to approve it till we'll get it
Okay.
resolved.
Okay, yeah.
Seems like nobody
Pending-
appreciates my favors, so.
Pending a person who signed off on the hiring of the individual, yeah.
Sure.
So I make a motion to accept based on that approval.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Hope. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Public comments?
Yep.
Ladies first.
Hello.
Just a couple of questions.
Jean, just your name and address for the record.
Jean Pierce, 44 Arundel Avenue.
Thank you.
Have you any idea what's going to go in Capital One Bank?
Capital One Bank.
Capital One.
Capital Bank, yeah, they are
On the
just closing the
corner.
branch. They're closing the branch, they're winding down.
Yeah. November 3rd would be the last
don't know
day?
what's
The property owner reached
Be a good
out.
place for Friendlies.
Friendlies.
The property owner reached out to the village for the layout. I think they are looking for tenants.
What
Okay.
was that?
They're looking for a tenant. I don't know what's going.
Probably.
Are you asking what I know if something's going in there? I don't know what's. No.
No.
They're just looking for a tenant. They're looking around for a tenant. Yes.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah, it's my.
There's another one. By the movie theater.
Yeah, but you've got to go
Oh,
right
it's very
down
hard
to
to
the movie
park there.
theatre. It's a longer
It's in
walk.
the back.
You do it online.
Okay. Our sidewalks, Brian seems to think they're a little wider when nobody's really sure how wide. I think they're about 12 feet wide on Mill Neck Road,
Say again.
the width of a sidewalk.
Of the sidewalks.
Mhm,
It varies.
Okay.
it varies. Bistro Burger. With that canopy they put up for outdoor eating, that's 10 by 10. So it leaves just about 24 inches for people to go on the
But I
sidewalk.
think the way they did it, they have a 10 by 10, but they put the tables all the way to the building, so there is place that
Not
you
really.
can.
Not
I
really.
walked by it yesterday, and you can just walk by on the.
You
on the
might
si-
be able to just walk by about 24, maybe 30 inches, but somebody with a stroller, especially a double stroller, has to go into the street and then,
Gene,
Yeah.
just so you know, a notice of violation was sent to them.
okay.
We have received other complaints about the same property.
I
Yeah.
don't think they asked for. Did they ask for? They never asked for anything.
I think the code used to be you could only go so many, like 14 inches or something out, like a single table. Maybe that's
Yeah, I mean,
been changed.
the thing is, there has been a lot of changes made in the plaza. What they've done, they closed the area. The problem is with them, they have the bus stop right in front, so we can't really close that area. I know that they were thinking of maybe reaching out to the county to see if we can move the bus stop, like just move it not one block, just cross the street on
North of Fairview.
Janet's
north of
place?
Fairview. So this way, it will allow them, because there's nobody able to park there either, it will allow them to maybe barricade that portion and be able to put their tent all the way. So I don't know if you can reach out to the county. I don't know if county is willing to make any changes like that.
Well, that would be the MTA to have to
Right.
Nice.
move a nice
Right.
bus just for the sake
That's what they
of
call nice.
No, it's
nice.
just to the other corner.
Yeah, no, just instead of south corner, north corner, same side, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd have to, the bus company has
Again,
to take care of that.
it's not in our jurisdiction, but we can.
But all I'm saying is there's very little space.
I understand.
for
No,
especially
your point
double
is well taken.
strollers. You've got to go
Right.
into the
You're-
street and then
Right.
Correct.
Right, you're correct.
being on the corner is dangerous.
So maybe you can, so Brian, see if you can reach out to NICE and see if they're willing to make that.
And Steamboat Road parking lot, do we still own that?
Which Park and Steamboat Road? Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
So we're still renting it?
I don't think it's
'Cause
being
there's a
rented.
lot of
It's
cars
being
there.
rented again with the same guy?
It's rented to
Yeah.
the
Right,
same
okay.
person who was renting.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we have rented twice, not with the first licensee, with the second licensee.
Okay.
Your what is it called? Motor House.
Okay,
Your Motor House.
okay.
And the building.
Which
Shentoff's-
building?
Shentoff's, is corner of North Road. When is that going to be pulled down?
Steve?
There have been no demo permits,
Oh,
They didn't ask for demo permit?
nothing yet.
does he have the money to do that? To do
I'm not his
it?
bank. I don't know.
But how long are we going to look at that? I mean, it's.
How long
well,
is
you-
it that
you
we have
probably
given
don't
him?
Any
look at it.
financing for a project that size could take a long time.
It's been a long time. It's like
No, it's
6
not.
years or so
No,
that
no, I'm not
corner's
saying
looked
that.
like
No.
that.
When
No,
was-
not
when-
him, but
It's not even, Gene, it's not even 6 months since he
no,
was.
I mean 6 years since we've had that corner look like that.
No, it's been a lot longer
He's
than
been
6
a
years.
couple
since-
of years.
It could take a developer a long time to get the financing in place.
The question
Well,
is, can
thought
we
he had
ask them?
financing.
What?
We thought he had the financing.
He does no.
And
See,
shouldn't
no
you
one.
check on that before you
Gene,
allow people
Gene,
to?
that's not the way it works. You can't check on people's finances to see if they have
just-
money.
No,
It's
no.
not. It's not. It's
You
not.
look at the project size, the bank has to analyze the project, the time, and everything like that. So it takes the bank a long time to appraise the situation. Literally appraise it.
But I don't think it's coming from a bank.
It does. But do you think someone is going to pay $25 million out of their pocket to build it?
Well, his relations in Canada might, yes.
No one in the right mind is going to spend that much money out of their pocket if they can get free money almost with almost like 2%,
Well, we have
3%
that
interest
building
rate.
looking like that, then across the road we have next to 7-Eleven.
I don't
That's
disagree
been
with
how
you,
many
Gene. I don't
years?
disagree with you that I want to find out if we can actually ask them to demolish it. That I
Yes,
don't mind. I
That's
don't mind
fine.
them doing it, but I need to know what I'm going to get. I don't want to go from
The
bad.
demolition may be included in the finance package though. The
Maybe,
demolish, yeah.
maybe, but
I
we
mean,
need to find out
demolish
if we
it
can.
just like you did on the other corner. That they had to demolish the building, they put grass down,
I
put
don't.
some
Right.
shrubbery.
The thing is, you can't put grass there because
No,
there's
but you
the-
could do
the- it's-
something, at least.
There's an excavation, so it's excavated in the back, so you can't put grass. So if we do ask them to demolish, we have to make sure
Clean
that
the
it's
place
safe.
up.
Sorry,
Clean the place up, it looks like a zombie.
I don't disagree with you, and I think that's why the BZA actually gave them all those variances because that place has been like that for the past 30 years. It's been horrible. I don't disagree with you. Listen, I don't want anything less than them, demolishing the place and make it up at least something. That's the reason they were given a
First, it
permit.
could be a danger, the way it is now, with just empty and, right? It could be a danger. You could
Okay,
have people going
he will
in
look
there.
into it with Peter.
Yeah, at least have it pulled down for safety
We have to
reasons
see if it's
alone.
legally possible, and then we'll do that. Safety. Okay, thank you.
David Linziger, 15 Beach Road. You approved a contract with Mojo Stumer. Can you tell us what the contract amount is for that, and what they're going to do? Are they going to be besides, say, the designer, are they also going to be the project manager?
Yes.
And how much is in the contract in terms of?
Yeah, it's here.
It's 225,000, it says there.
So that's news since before they had the contract for the 17,000. It's going to be, and they're going to be the overall project manager for the.
That's what they're going to do, right? So we can hire somebody to, to manage them, or one of the building department just to make sure
No,
that things are being
that's
done.
fine. I mean, they are experienced and they're experienced.
Mojo has done.
No, their experience. No, I have
Right,
no
and you have
doubts
to
about
realize one of the-
their combat. I just wondered about that. And in terms of the design itself, is there any? Here it's August. Is there any time when the public is going to see?
So it is being worked on. We did have a preliminary view of what it's going to be, but there are certain changes that are going to be made. And yes, it will come to the public. One thing I wanted to say, one of the reasons we did choose Mojo, obviously he's one of the top
Right.
architects out there. He's done a wonderful job, I believe, here in Great Neck and elsewhere. And I think he knows the area, and we know where he is. So we can find him if he doesn't do what we want to do. Sorry?
Well, that's not the
He's got the
point.
organization.
Mojo doesn't
No,
need money.
that's an established firm, and
Right.
they did the firehouse here. They've
Right.
done many
So
things.
I think Mojo is going to do a wonderful job. We've
Okay.
had over 10 meetings with him already, and we're meeting very frequently, making sure that things are moving forward. And he has the personnel, and he
No, I
has
don't
the-
have any doubt about. Will there be some kind of mock-up or?
Yes.
Or
well,
to show
yes.
the public.
Absolutely. The moment we have something that the board is comfortable with, we're going to bring it, and then the people can make comments
Good.
on that.
Thank you. Another question, which may be more for Abraham, our treasurer. Could you give us some more detail about Moody's and what exactly it was that caused that inquiry from them?
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
So basically what they do is every year they ask for a financial report. The financial report for 2019, it was submitted to the state. It's called the annual update that it was sent to the state and it was accepted by them. However, the financial report itself was not finalized due to various reasons, including losing our clerk treasurer. We didn't have a clerk treasurer for a while, and then COVID happened just a few months after I was appointed to the position. And they emailed the village a few times asking for that financial statements. It was not ready, and therefore the reason that they dropped it is for not receiving the financial report. I sent them the preliminary report. They said they need the final report. If when the final report comes out and it will be shared with the public, if I can show you, side by side, it will be literally the same, except that it will have the final sign off by the audit firm on it.
So it sounds like what you're saying is this sort of a technical kind of a thing. It's not as if they have any financial question about village finances.
Absolutely not. That is what you're saying is exactly
Okay,
correct.
So, and you're an accountant, so if Moody's had that question, did S&P or Fitch or anybody else come in and have the same question?
They have not reached out to us.
Okay. But as far as you're concerned, it's just this technical thing. There's
The
nothing.
reason that they dropped the rating is not because they found anything.
No, because
it's
of this
just
technical.
they did not receive the final audited financial report. That's the only reason that they dropped it.
Okay.
They're not downgrading us. They're just not rating us, which is there's a big difference between not rating and downgrading.
No, I know that. So what is our rating right now with Moody's?
I'm sorry?
What is our rating as of August 17th with Moody's?
We are not rated as of August anymore.
And what were we before?
I believe we were double A, double A
think
plus
so.
or something. Double A, I
Okay.
believe we were.
Well, as long as it's just this technical thing, I think that's something that people
I
were
can't-
concerned about.
Within the next, I would say, month or so, we should have the final report issued by the auditors.
Okay, now to go back to the new village hall, there's a $2 million appropriation in the current budget for that. So is there any thought that in the current fiscal year that started in June, the village will have to raise additional funds, say, sell more bonds to pay for new village hall, or is this premature?
So you have to realize, even if we had the plans ready to go today,
right,
we would not be spending that much money initially. So I don't think there is any reason to fear or be worried about getting a bond, or it's going to go to the next year. So for now, we have enough money, and we'll see how much. Again, one thing you have to realize, after he's done with having the complete plan, then it goes and he's going to come and say, this is probably how much it's going to cost.
Right.
Again, we're going to have the interior, the exterior, all the furnitures, all those things.
All that costs money. I understand that. That's why I'm asking about. Obviously, you want the highest possible credit rating for the village,
so
we want our financial planning
right.
to
So,
be good.
Based on our finances, we have a lot more money in our reserve than we had 6 years ago. So the ratio between what we owe and what we have has gotten a lot less. So if anything, our rating is going to be better now than it was 5 years ago or 6 years ago. So I'm not really worried about our rating and the bond that we're going to get. I'm assuming we're going to get great rating for the bond. And if we do get a bond, again, I don't want to put myself in.
You haven't committed us to that yet.
Sorry?
So you haven't committed us to that.
I am
May
letting
not need
everybody.
it.
I'm not committing myself to bonding anything. I just want to know how it goes, and based on that, we'll decide.
Can I just add something?
Yes.
Sure.
There is we have utilized only 2% of our limit for borrowing. We still have 90.
Yes, I know that. You've discussed that before. But it also helps that there's no questions and all that. And if this thing with Moody's
Once the
is resolved, that
financials-
would be fine. I'd be very happy about that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Can I just ask something on that?
Yeah.
What about the sale of this building? Are you going to use that money? that money for the new building?
Right. So, to me, these are premature questions. Where the money comes from? We have the money. One. This money, we can spend the money and then put this money instead. It doesn't have to be the money that we get from the sale of this go straight to building. It doesn't have to be. We have enough money to build even without bonding, without raising taxes, without selling this building. But the question is, how fast we can get things done. My mission, and I believe the board shares that vision with me, is that we would like to do this as soon as possible. And again, we don't have to borrow money, we don't have to bond money, we don't have to sell any of our parcels that we currently own in order to get this done. We can go ahead full force, and that's what we're doing. What happens with this place? Our plan is not to hold on to it. School needs it for obvious reasons that we've discussed, and I think they are probably going to be the best people who we can sell it to. Unless something happens from now to whatever, a year or two before the village hall is ready for us to move into. I don't know. I don't foresee that. I think school is still really the organization, I would say that benefits from owning this more than anyone else. No more comments? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I move.
Second.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Be safe. Wear your masks.